Hi Stoughton, this is Steve Cavey, Select Board member from the town of Stoughton. I'm also the Vice Chair of the Select Board. Today is January 12th, 2021. I wanted to give you guys a brief update on what we covered in today's meeting. Just for anybody who doesn't already know, if you look down in the description, you can find links that might be useful to you. There'll be a link to the entire video via Stoughton TV or SMAC. There's also a link to the agenda, the minutes when they become available, and there's also a link to an anonymous suggestion box for me if there's anything you want to tell me, but you want to keep your identity to yourself. I respect that. Please reach out there. Of course, you can always reach me by phone or email. Those are listed on the town website under Select Board. So if you also if you've been following the last couple of videos, you'll notice that from the prior ones that I mentioned the fact that I had Bell's palsy. I have recovered mostly from it. My eye doesn't blink all the time, but I'm able to blink it, and my smile's still like slightly crooked, but I can, live kind of normally now. My recovery was unusually fast. I think I got very lucky in that respect. I think it's been less than a month overall, and there's a lot of people who continue to have issues 6 months, a year, sometimes even longer for years. So I'm more or less back in business, close enough, So everyone who was wishing me well, I appreciate it. I am feeling a lot better. So we'll continue on. 2021 is already lightening up a bit. So let's go over the meeting. There were a lot of items, but it was actually a very quick meeting. I think we were out by just a little bit after 9 o'clock, which is unusually quick for us. So the first items, obviously, citizen comments, select board comments, and town manager comments. I won't go into great detail about those, and you definitely catch them at the beginning of the meeting. There wasn't a whole lot in there. However, Joe McCrisky at the very beginning of the meeting did mention that a former town employee and longtime Stoughton resident, Joe Fari, I think his name is. The last name I don't remember it quite as well, but probably most of you will know him very well. But he worked for the town for a long time. Has been a resident for a long time, and he unfortunately passed away recently from, I believe, a heart attack. And he was a good friend of Select Board member Joe McCrisky's. He described him as his best friend, and he went to great lengths to tell his story. And so, if you know Joe Faria, and you want to hear Joe McCrisky's take on it, definitely watch the beginning of that. So it was really a lot of thoughtful words. So check it if you got a chance. Moving on, we had a couple of public hearings. So the first item was exercise right of first refusal for 1515 West Street. There was apparently a misprint in the public notice, so that's going to be rescheduled due to that. So we didn't cover that at all. The next item was a dangerous dog hearing. This was continued from December 15th, 2020, and it was to receive status update on 2 dogs, Hurricane and Moonlight, deemed dangerous and are harbored at 22 Chase Run Road and owned by Luciano Fusa, I think it is. So this was, this is the 4th meeting overall where we covered this item. There were the nature of what led us to even have the case. It was 2 of this gentleman's dogs, killed a third of his dog, his third dog, and it sounds like it was a very intense experience. The police reports themselves were gruesome, and so there was a lot that we had to understand to really be able to make an informed decision. it's so we've gone through this now. I think this was our fourth meeting overall. Though the last one was just to get a status update. We had the dogs examined by a behavioralist who was chosen by town council and also by Mr. Fusa's council. They mutually agreed on an local expert, who examined the dogs and found them to be not non-aggressive dogs. They're quite large, and they are part of a breed that has a bad reputation. But the animal behavior expert, shared with us a report that said that they were not aggressive dogs. He did test them in their own home, and was not able to create the kind of aggression that the report would sort of imply by somebody who was a non-expert. So that was helpful. Also, Mr. Fusa has put a lot of time and attention into where the dogs live. They have kennel on his property, and he has really gone above and beyond building a situation that will be safe for them and safe for other people. I do wish him well. I think that there were a number of things we voted on. It was actually a very long list, so I'm not going to read them all. But overall, I feel like we found a place where we could safely conclude that the dogs are not going to be able to hurt anybody or anybody else's dogs, and Mr. Fusa is able to keep them safe as well. Okay, so that was that. That was for anybody who knows me, I'm a huge animal lover, and certainly dogs have always been my favorite. So these dangerous dog hearings are the worst for me, but we're able to get through it. So the next item was actually a presentation done by a town planner. It was a Stoughton Center District zoning bylaws, and I suggest you watch it. It wasn't very long, maybe about 15 minutes, just going through a lot of the changes that they're looking to implement. The next item the next two items are essentially license hearings. There was sorry, no, I might be wrong about that. No, I was right. So so the next three are basically like license hearings. In one case, there was a business where there were some past expenses that were due, water bill, taxes, and whatnot. Those have been cleared up, and so we issued the beer and wine license and common regular license. Next one was a change in manager, which unfortunately you need to have a manager on there. It's listed. The manager who was there left the organization, and so the organization had to add a new one. In this case, it was the Sons of Italy. The last one was Nagoya. So Sons of Italy, they had a change of manager. They finished up all the paperwork. Town employees were able to move this through quickly, and so we were able to approve a club and all alcohol license for them. And the last was a change of manager application. This was for TGI Fridays. They didn't need this. They've already received their license, and all of their licenses. So this was just strictly a change in manager. So all three of those were voting unanimously once we received all the information that we needed. Next item, town clerk appointment. This one was very quick. As everyone knows, I've recused myself from all discussions about town manager. Town clerk. This is the town clerk appointment. All items related to the town clerk appointment I've recused myself from because I'm running in the upcoming election, and the current interim town clerk, her husband is also running in that same election, and so I'm staying out of any decisions about the job because I just want to make sure there's no even an appearance of any sort of unethical behavior. So I don't go into details about all of or go and start to editorialize about This one in particular, I try not to do anything, but sometimes I can't help it. But this one in particular, I'll just give you the straight facts, but this was a very quick update, so it's easy enough. There was just a report that, Chairman Howe shared that Chairwoman Howe shared that the job posting had been, or the job description had been posted to a number of employment boards and whatnot. So we will start getting applications soon, and the screening committee will be reviewing those. The last time, well, we have 2 more items. Consent agenda. Sorry, the next one was an annual town meeting. We had 2 things: budget discussion and also preliminary articles. It's kind of a quick discussion. We didn't really have any new business with this. We just talked a little bit about scheduling and communication with other boards and committees. So not much there. There was no vote, but check it out if you're interested in what we discussed. The last item on the regular agenda is the consent agenda. 2 items: payroll and bills. Payroll and bill warrants, and any other documents to come before the meeting. And then item B was the approval of open session minutes for December 15th, December 22nd, and December 29th. And that was the open session. We had a extremely brief executive session, which only had 1 item: approved executive session minutes of 12/15/2020. So that was it. Obviously, reach out if you have any questions. You can comment in the anonymous suggestion box or reach me by phone or email. Be well, Stoughton. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be a select board member. I really sincerely appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys next week. Be well.